More storms extend disruption to services around the coast. Funding committed to dredging at the entrance. Calls for Mayor to resign. Controversial tower inflames 5G debate. Local athletes setting their sights on Tokyo Olympics. Well, no sooner had last week's floodwater receded, another storm caused even more flooding around the coast. In one case, stormwaters caused a failure of the sewage system in Davistown, affecting more than 400 homes. Residents Bill and Diane Konigsmark said they had endured 8 days without a toilet and shower, making several dashes in the middle of the night to public toilets at Pirate Ship Park. But Mr Konigsmark commended the council and Terrigal MP Adam Crouch for their response to the crisis, which included bringing this flotilla of Australia's iconic yellow and green portaloos. Well, last week we broke the news that the state government had committed $600,000 in funding to be matched by council for dredging of the entrance. The funding was committed after heavy flooding caused major damage to homes and properties around Tuggerah and the entrance. It also led to extended disruptions of power and other services across the region. The extent of the flooding has been widely attributed to mismanagement of Tuggerah Lakes and the entrance channel, causing a fierce community backlash against council.
They do report after report after report, and then it gets put to the back of the filing cabinet and nobody looks at it again. Now they're calling for them to all be brought back in. You know, how much more time are they going to take? How many more houses are going to be lost? How many more businesses are going to go broke while they play around in there?
And let's go now to David Abrahams, who's been following further developments this week.
Thank you, Georgia. And Melinda Pavey, the New South Wales Minister for Water, came to the coast this week and went up and inspected the entrance together with Adam Crouch. Interestingly enough, the local MP wasn't invited along again. Yet she appealed to council to basically get on with it and ask council not to keep blaming the state government for the slow action. While we were up at the entrance, we bumped into Councillor Greg Best, who was wandering along the foreshore of the entrance talking to locals. And we asked Greg about his deliberations about the situation.
Wednesday night was possibly one of the worst council meetings I've ever sat through. I feel for the community. The emotions were supercharged. They're in their houses, they're in sewerage, they're just in disarray that this happened in the first place. You know, we have played around the edges with this lake for way too long. This is not just about the entrance. I'm a Budgie councillor. I'm from the north. This channel affects thousands and thousands of people to the north. You know, San Remo's under effect, Gorick and Toukley. Further north, even further in Munmora, there's damage. I mean, it's literally like being in a dog pound where cats and dogs just don't get on. That's a terrible analogy, mate, but I can't see a better one, and I'm the chair of the Animal Cares Committee.
And so for most of this week, the Mayor, Lisa Matthews, has been weathering a storm of her own as a targeted social media campaign, well organised, has rallied people into calling for her resignation. It's developed further where two councillors, Councillor McLaughlin and Best, are putting a motion on Monday night's meeting for her to resign. We'll see how that goes. And finally, Georgia, we spoke with long-time council observer and advisor to some extent, Kevin Armstrong, about his take as a citizen on this week's turbulent events and the situation around Tuggerah Lakes.
It's very unfortunate, the events that occurred at the last council meeting. We had a very enraged mob, stirred up by a number of people, I think for political reasons rather than sensible. The lakes flooded again. It's done so many times before. It was certainly not the biggest flood we've had. And in saying that, I don't minimise the damage to people's homes. I really empathise with them. The council meetings, the Mayor is responsible for leading a team of councillors. Their proper role is developing strategies and policies for the council to follow. It is not the Mayor's call to open or not open the lake. The Mayor has no authority whatever for opening the channel, nor does she therefore have responsibility for when it was opened.
Well, it's a complex issue, Georgia, and it won't go away. We have council elections coming up in September, and all predictions show that more of these catastrophic weather events and the frequency of those will be there. So there'll no doubt be more of these discussions in the future. Back to you.
Thanks, David. And yes, let's hope the situation is resolved in a calm and respectful way. In Killcare, residents have challenged the proposal to build a new telecommunications tower at the top of Wards Hill Road to address the black spots. The proposal by Optus, VHA and Telstra involves building a 33-metre tower and has raised concerns about visual impacts and the clearing of vegetation. But several residents living in Killcare Heights have expressed concerns about the health risks associated with prospective upgrades of 5G technologies and the associated levels of higher frequency electromagnetic radiation.
Can she go clear on this third and final attempt at 196?
And she's over!
She's over!
2 Olympic qualifiers.
And that was local high jumper Nicola McDermott equalling her personal best of 1.96 metres at the Canberra Track Classic last week. The 186 centimetre tall McDermott is currently ranked 11th in the world and has already qualified for this year's Olympics in Tokyo. She's looking to crack the 2-metre barrier. In wet conditions, she was defeated on countback by Victoria's Eleanor Patterson, who also cleared at 1.96 metres. Another Central Coast competitor at the Canberra meet was Gosford's sprinting sensation Tyler Gunn. The 20-year-old Gunn was quick out of the blocks and powered down the home straight to win his division in 46.94 seconds. The time is still 2 seconds outside of the Olympics qualifying time, but it was almost a second faster than his time in the New South Wales Country Championships in Dubbo in mid-January, and he looks to be getting stronger by the day after his injury in 2019.
Nikita Jr., but Gunn charging down the front straight,
This is a
pulling
much
away
better
from the rest
run.
of the field.
Gun.
And we'll have to watch for the clock. 46.94.
Around Miller, keeps his feet. Brilliant play, Riley McGree. Oh, the teenager! Mohamed Toure, the youngest ever.
Just when you thought things couldn't get worse for the Central Coast Mariners defence, that goal was struck against them by a 15-year-old kid. After becoming the third youngest A-League debutant, Mohamed Toure then became the youngest ever goal scorer in the league when he found the net late in the match to secure a 2-0 win for Adelaide. The loss sees the Mariners sink to the bottom of the ladder, having now conceded 34 goals in 17 games, and we went down to training to check how morale is holding up.
Yeah, it's been very good. You know, we're all keeping positive, especially the result on the weekend against Adelaide. We deserve something out of that, and it was tough to take, but we're taking a lot of positives out of it because we played very well. We kept the ball, and we were looking dangerous.
And things are unlikely to get easier when the Mariners take on competition leaders Sydney FC at Central Coast Stadium on Sunday evening. And we close this week with some reflections on this week's Big and Bold Innovation Summit organised by Central Coast Council.
So many people in the room is a great statement of how people are interested in this. A lot of engagement, a lot of energy. Keen to see how it ends, but I think it's very positive.
The innovation is a buzzword, and there are many parts of the country where people are rolling their eyes at it. So to have an event like this and see so many local business people coming here together with the council to look at what it means for the region is an excellent start.
There's a lot of energy and there's so much talking between people at the tables. I haven't seen that quite as much. What do you think you put that down to? Why are people so interested to come along and talk?
Well, I think we're ready. Yeah, we're ready. The coast is ready for change, and with the amalgamation of the two councils, we're ready to move forward.
People are hungry for this. We really need this on the coast. There's a lot of challenges we have on the coast. Huge populations, a lot of people leaving the coast. It's been referred to as leakage this morning by a few of the speakers. So I think there's a buzz about, it's a new decade, it's 2020. We've got the right people in the room that can make these changes and, actually turn these innovations into something positive for everyone.
Well, that's all for this week. If you're looking for something to do with the kids this weekend, check out Chalk the Walk down at the Waterfront Plaza at the entrance. Locals and visitors are being invited to join in an interactive pavement gallery featuring renowned master street artist and a 10 chalk masterpiece produced by local artists. The event kicks off at 12 p.m. on Sunday. Stay safe this week, keep an eye out for people who are in need of help, and we'll see you again with more news from around the coast next Friday. Who's in need of help?